Alright, 2017, 10/26, Thursday, 9:30 a.m. ABC. Again, Junior Arnold. Here again. Just want to say that the meaning to life is love. And the meaning of love is choice. And the meaning to choice is the experience which is seen through justice and grace. And just want to make another video, and if you have any questions, let me know. This recording is brought to you by Bitcoin, the future to money. This video is also brought to you by Oatmeal. We believe in better food. Hello, how are you? I'm alright. What about you? Person on the internet, what is going on? That's what I want to know. Alright, I just want to know, today is a Thursday. I'm recording another video. Normally I've been recording on Saturdays. Yes, on the weekend. Decided I'll do it today for a change. And hello, Mr. Pickett and other people on the internet, people in TV land, welcome. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Julie Arnold Show. It's not ideal, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Want to take your questions, want to know what's going on. Really would like to know what's going on. I feel a little bit bionic, more bionic now than ever before, probably. In the course of my 32 years of life, it's been pretty mystical. Especially yesterday, my ears popped. And now I feel like I'm a $6 million man. I feel like I can hear very well. So I'm literally like listening to myself talk for the first time ever, kind of thing. It's like I have a monitor as some kind of like hearing aids inside of my ears, and I feel like I'm able to hear myself for the first time. I always had like bad ears, especially when I was younger, my first 10 years of my life. And I've been writing about this on Steemit, and I'm gonna look for better websites to keep the record on, and that's great. So hello sir, how are you today? Hello mister, I remember you. I've seen you a few times here and there, like at the park and stuff. I'm okay, Mr. Man at the Park, Mr. Wing Walk Min Tong. I could never say it right, but at least I try. You know, always gotta try. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. Alright, stay positive. Okay, I'll stay positive. So, what are you going to explain today? Okay, well, if you wanna know, Mr. Pickell, Mr. Anarhodada Pickell. People on the internet, if you want to know what's going on, if you want to know what I want to talk about today, I would say I just want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't really prepare these things, even though I could, and even though I got a lot on my mind. I would probably talk about the dream I had this morning, but I'm having a hard time remembering right now. Don't really know what I was dreaming about this morning, but at the time it was pretty far out. It was pretty spectacular. It was pretty bossa nova. Why do people say that? I don't know why people say that. I really understood it, but I heard it on a Turtles movie when I was a little boy. I was thinking about all the different things I try to do, like all the things I was trying to make in my life, especially when I was a boy. I was trying to make stuff, and it was very, very interesting. Like I was trying to make a flying skateboard, like a hoverboard that you see in Back in the Future. I was like feeling like I could do it. Like I would pick up a skateboard and I would try to figure out, okay, how do I make it fly? What can I do to make it fly? Then we had like broken door and I was trying to make it fly too. Are you alive? Am I alive? Are you alive? I'm more alive now than ever before. I get up in the morning, I walk around, the sun gets into my body, and it makes me feel alive. And there's a lot of hope you can get from the sun. Then I have some coffee, and there's a lot of hope you can get from the coffee too, but more so from the sun. All right, that's right. What's going on? What's going on? That's right. What's going on? What is happening? Do you ever feel like you live inside a bubble? If you ever live in a bubble, what would you do? If you did live in a bubble, or if you are in a bubble, would you try to get out of the bubble? Is that how the cookie crumbles? What would you do if I told you you were in a dream? That life is but a dream. What would you do if I told you you were a robot? What would you do if I told you that you were a hologram? Like Scott Adams always talks about. I'm exaggerating, but I do that a lot, don't I? But I'll say this. Okay, so what would you do? Imagine that. Oh, we cannot wait anymore. Cannot wait. Sometimes you gotta wait. Sometimes you gotta go. And the trick is to know when to go and when not to go, and where to go and what to do. I would say that's the secret, right? So what are you waiting for, or what are you not waiting for? That's the question. Are you ready for that? There's a lot of things I thought about doing in my life, my 32 years of life. I thought about being an astronaut. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to go in space with the magic school bus, or with the astronauts, or with Star Trek people in the future, or Star Wars people in the past, and do some of that. I thought it was really interesting. And I was watching some of the videos of some astronauts when I was 8. I was only 8 years old, and we had a video that we got from the Whiz Bang video star, and I saw the astronauts training. And when you train to be an astronaut, you have to go through some kind of simulator, and you have to learn how to be an astronaut, how to do things. So they sometimes they spin you around in circles, and that can make you very, very dizzy. So I remember seeing that as a little boy, and I was like, I don't really want to be an astronaut anymore. This feels a little bit too much, too intense, too painful. Cannot handle it. I can barely spin around on a merry-go-round. I can barely spin around myself. If somebody else is spinning me 10 times faster, I might puke out my brains. So, how to train my English skills better to be a professional? If you want to be better at English, you gotta love it more. You gotta love it more. You gotta use it. You cannot really get better at something if you don't have a purpose for it. Obviously, I know you think that maybe you have a purpose for it, but you're never gonna be good enough with what you want. So you gotta just be happy with what you have and take care of what you have. You have some English skills, obviously people have English skills and they want to get better. They gotta just focus on what they know how to do instead of just trying to get something more. Like people always want to talk better, they want to write better. They always want to do a lot of things better. And it's good to try to do better. But the problem is distraction. Like you get really distracted when all you can think about is what you cannot do. You got to really remember that there's a lot of things you know how to do, and you got to focus on what you can do, because when you focus on what you can do, that improves your ability to do what you can do. So in order to be better at anything, you got to really focus on what you know how to do already. If you feel time, if you have free time, I want to talk to you so I can improve English. That's right. And that's how you improve English. That's the secret, is you talk and you have conversations, and you have real conversations about things that you care about. When you do that, you do better. You do a lot better. And you really don't know how good you can do. So you gotta be happy with what you have, with whatever you have. You gotta be happy with it. You should. I mean, you don't have to. Obviously, you don't have to. You could do whatever you want, and that's the beauty to life, is that you can do whatever you want. But I do try to be happy with whatever I have, and it's difficult for me because obviously I want to be more professional too. Whatever you're asking me, I'm asking myself. You ask me questions about English, I'm asking myself the same questions about English. I'm asking other people. I'm looking around, and you gotta really stay curious, and you gotta do whatever you can to do better. Obviously, it's like you gotta be a curious cat, and it's better that way. But you should not try to kill yourself. That curiosity killed the cat, but then generosity brought it back. Somehow, some way, where there's a will, there's a way. So you really just gotta keep going. You gotta keep on going. You really gotta do what you love to do. And when you're able to do what you love, you are able to do it more than anything else. When you work and you don't really like the work, that's really gonna make you age. It's gonna make you older. It's gonna make you cry a little bit more. It's gonna make you feel like an old man a lot faster. And a lot of people work doing things they don't want to do, and it's okay to do things you don't want to do for a time, but you really do have the ability to do more than you think. But it's really difficult for habits to change, and for a lifestyle to go down a different course. But you can always like find different people. Where are you? I am in Vietnam. I'm in the country of Vietnam. I'm in a big city in Vietnam. That's right. I'm from America. I'm from the United States. I'm from Oregon, the state of Oregon, a great state above California. I live next to the Pacific Ocean. I still do live near the Pacific Ocean, but on the other side. I'm on the other side of the Pacific Ocean, which is something I never really thought I would ever do. When I was a boy, I thought about going to New York, and I used to sing a song about that. I used to sing about being the king of New York from the Disney musical. Newsies. Ooh. By the way, Disney bought a company from Mr. Weinstein, the Miramax company. Ooh, what's going on with that? Disney's doing it. Disney's doing something. Google is doing something. What are they doing? These are great questions. So it's good to ask a lot of questions. And it's good to try your best. And it's good to really, really like say thank you to people and to really love people more and more and more. It's really good to have a focus on family, and friends. And there's a lot of really, really old stuff that we do that's very, very, very important. And some people will say, well, this is really, really old. This is really, really old-fashioned. This is really, really traditional. And it's stupid. And some of it might be stupid. Some of it might be, I don't know. But, it's like some of it at the same time is very, 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 very precious, very, very, very lovely, very, very fundamental, very, very good for you, for me, for other people. It's very, very, very fundamental, very, very important. Like just like the values of the family is so incredible, and you can see these ideas, these understandings of the family all around the world, regardless of the cultures and the religions and the people and everything else. Family is everywhere. But some people are saying, well, you don't really have to have a family. Your family can be different. And people do have different families. But every family needs a female mother and a male father. Not just, people. But there are specific, roles and jobs in a family that is very, very fundamental. And the system that a family has is better than anything else. And lots of people want to know the difference between American English and British English. Some of the words that are different are words like elevator and lift. In America, we say elevator. And in England, people might say a lift. I'm going to go on a lift, or I'm going to go on an elevator. And in America, we say we have some underwear or boxers. And in England, they say trousers instead of underwear or boxers. Hello, how are you, Mr. Wing? Me. I'm okay, I'm alright. So, I'm making a video. I'm live. I'm live on Facebook again. And I'm talking, and I'm looking at my laptop. And I was working on my laptop yesterday. That was good. I think I made my computer a little bit better, maybe a little bit faster. Because maybe I got my swap to work better, or maybe I turned it on or something. I'm not exactly sure what I did, what I was trying to do on my computer, my laptop, my Ubuntu mate. And I was trying to do some stuff on Firefox. Thank you. You're welcome. Alright. So, talking to some people, and maybe some people are listening a little bit. My ears are buzzing or popping, so I can fear. I can also hear. I'm trying to say hear. I can hear myself talk a little bit. There's a little bit of an echo. It's not coming from the earphones. The earphones are not even on. They're not on my head. Yeah, they're not in my ears. They're right here. But I can still hear the echo because my ears are opened, like the pipes in my ears that goes down to my mouth is like open maybe, and that's why I can hear better right now. Temporarily, it started last night around 4 p.m. and now I'm like hearing stuff a lot more than before. I mean, it probably happened before a few times in my life. I'm not exactly sure about that, but it is really interesting. Really interesting, I'll tell you that. Very interesting. So, some people say that if you have a problem, then you should just get some help from other people, or maybe the wrong people. And it's dangerous to get help from the wrong people. Sometimes you don't know who the wrong people are. There are different kinds of people that can help, and it's very, very, very good to try to get help from people if you need it. And sometimes it's good to try different things in life. Sometimes you know better than other people. You know better than other people, like you really do, but other people don't know that. So it's a little bit discouraging. Sometimes you want to talk about your problems because you do, or maybe there is no reason that you know of. Maybe you just want to like share your life with other people, and that's really good. Sometimes when you ask for help, you're asking for help. Sometimes you talk about your problems that you're not really asking for help, but then other people think you're asking for help, and then they try to help you, and then you say, well, I don't want help. And they say, I thought you wanted help. And you're like, oh, I don't want any help. And they said, but why did you talk about that? And I said, because I don't know, but hello. And I say hello to everybody watching. Hello, Jolivie, or just Bilano. Right, another comment from person from, I'm guessing, the Philippines. If you don't know, I'm from America. That's right. And I salute and I stand for my flag. That's right. I have Bitcoin. That's the future. I have a smile on my face, and I have a face too. if I didn't have a face, I couldn't really have a smile on my face. That would be a little bit too difficult to do. But even if I didn't have a face, I guess it'd be okay. I mean, I can't really say that. I don't really know, because I never really had a no face. I always had a face or a two-face. Sometimes I have two faces, not just one. But if I had like no faces, I don't know what that would be like. I always lived my life with a face. Couldn't really have a face off with anybody, like Nicolas Cage and that other guy. I don't know if I can do that, but I try to be happy. But at the same time, I'm not always gonna be happy. I'm not always happy, but at the same time, I'm happy even when I'm not happy, because I have joy where? Down in my heart. And that is something that I believe in. I believe in it very, very strongly. And I really do like to talk about it sometimes, or actually all the time, but I don't want to scare people away all the time. I do like to scare people away. Sometimes I really do like to tell people about everything that I think, everything that I believe, how I feel, what I'm doing. But sometimes I feel like people don't really know what I'm doing. People don't really know what I'm talking about. And then I feel like, oh no, maybe I shouldn't talk about it, because maybe they cannot like really relate to what I'm talking about. I like to talk about joy over circumstances and hope over dope. I talk about that a lot, and I've been talking about that for a long time. L for OJ, living for only Jesus. I really, really love to talk about that, because those are the fundamental beliefs that I have in my life, and they're very, very, very important to me, and that's what I believe. And I believe in the freedom to talk about that, and to talk about different things that makes me who I am. And I think that the world is better when we have the freedom to talk about how we feel, what we're doing, what we think, how we feel, how we feel, what we're doing, what we think, and what we believe. A lot of times we don't really have that ability. We kind of think we do, or people tell us we can, but then they kind of say we can't. But they don't really say we can't, but they kind of like, they get at us, they threaten us, or they do stuff to us, or they don't let us join the party, get a job, or swim in the big pool with the big people, or eat on the big table. I'm kind of like talking with a lot of idioms, kind of, or like other stuff. Like I kind of like throw a lot of idioms at people, or I make up my own idioms, and I kind of like make references to a lot of stuff without really thinking about it. I don't really like think about that. I don't really think about that a lot. I never really did. I mean, as I get older, I try to think about other people more. I try to think about the people I'm around more. I try to think about the audience, especially in a video, especially in a live video. I think about you, Can you understand me? Do you know what I'm talking about? And it's very, very difficult to know. and I can get really distracted, very, very distracted from that, and I can go down a rabbit trail. I've been down a lot of rabbit trails in my life, and in other words, I like to talk about all of this stuff. I talk about a lot of like inside jokes, inside baseball, all of this stuff that I know that a lot of people don't know. And I think that might be a mistake. That might be a mistake. I mean, maybe not all the time, maybe not totally, but maybe sometimes I really do need to come down to where the people are and try to like be a little bit more frank, honest. Not honest, I'm already honest, but like relevant. I need to be more relevant. So do you ever feel like that? Okay, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I do a lot. Do you ever do that? Do you ever feel like you're just like doing what I'm doing? Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. But I would say that it's really difficult to know like what to do in life. If you ever wonder like, what am I supposed to do? I think like a lot of people don't really know what to do. I think that you don't really need to know. You don't really need to know like everything, but you need to talk about it a little bit, write it down a little bit, draw some pictures, make a list, make a timeline, and put it on your wall. Sing a song about it, and try to remember who you are. That's the beauty to life. That's the beauty of looking back at things. The reflection is fundamental to application for the future. And you're able to have better perspective and better insight as you climb up a mountain. And a mountain is like a climax. At the end of a trial, at the end of a situation, at the end of an event, at the end of a period in your life, you get to the end. And when you get to the end, you're at a mountain top. It reminds me of being on top of the mountain in Boring, Oregon. I used to live there in a small city called Boring, and Boring was not boring. It was not boring. Oh my God, I'm so bored. What am I gonna do? Go to Boring, Oregon. I was wilderness counselor for 2 years. Two George Soros years. 2 Zuckerberg years. 2 Obama years. 2 effing years. Okay? Whenever you want to say a bad word, just say a bad person. I said 2 effing years, but then I'd say 2 George Soros years, 2 Obama years, 2 Rothschild years. That's right. That's right. And actually, amazing. I'm being like sarcastic or ironical or paradoxical or whatever. I do that a lot actually, but it was very, very interesting. I'm trying to tell you, I had an amazing job, and I don't know what happened. I know what happened. I'm joking, kind of, and I'm not joking at the same time, because my mind is very twisted and very smooth at the same time. Oh yeah, this round, very smooth. Hello, Robin, Rasp. Yes, okay, family. Family. I like family. Okay, so I just want people to know everything. Maybe not everything. Maybe, I don't know. But I love my country. I love America. I'm not in America. I'm in Vietnam. I love Vietnam too. I love a lot of people. I love a lot of countries. And that's the difficult thing for me is I just want to run around like a chicken with no head. And I'm like, oh, I want to be here. I want to be there. And it's very difficult. I remember working as a camp counselor at Camp Kuratli. Camp Kuratli is a Salvation Army camp. So I was a counselor there for 2 years, 2 summers. Okay, just 2 summers. 2007, 2008. We talked about some of this stuff with the campers, right? Mostly teenagers, and they would come for a week at a time. And we would talk about life, talk about like the meaning to life. And we would go hiking for the whole week and talk about stuff, and we had a lot of games and activities and stuff and lessons and all this. And it was very, 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 very interesting, very exciting. And we would go hiking, we'd go through the forest, and we would have like tents and everything else that's involved in backpacking and hiking. And we did all that, and we'd climb up a mountain, and I would talk about some of this stuff to them. Sometimes I would do the lesson, and we would like talk around a campfire, and I would just talk to everybody, to the group. And it's very, very interesting. I still like to talk about that kind of stuff. Like in life, sometimes we go through a period of life that's very, very difficult. It's like climbing up a mountain, and then we get to the top, and then we're able to see a lot of stuff. And then the moment is over. Before you know it, you will not be on the mountain anymore, and then you go back down into the valley, and you go into the dark parts of your life again, and you will forget about the mountain. Some of the best times in your life are up on mountains in your life, and that is an incredible feeling when you're up there. You can feel the wind, you can feel the perspective, and the application that comes through an eternity of like wisdom and principles and experience of yourself and other people and everything. And it's incredible when you're up there on a mountain in your life, so to speak. Allegorically speaking, theoretically speaking, like it's amazing, but then the moment goes away like the wind, gone with the wind, and in a moment it's over, in a second it's over, and it's gone, and it's very, very, very sad. But looking back, you can notice that the whole journey, the whole experience was very, 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 very beneficial. And all of that helps you in your life. Like, you notice that everything works together. Did I hear something? I'm hearing something. I'm hearing stuff. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, among other things. I actually didn't really know that I wanted to talk about that, but I actually do. I just kind of forgot. And I think that sometimes, like, you really don't need to know what you should do in your life. You should ask other people. Like, sometimes you don't know what you want to do in your life, and that's okay. If you know what you want to do, what you need to do, what you can do, or whatever, do it. Try to do it. Try at least one time. I don't know how many times you should try to do whatever you want to do in your life, but at least one time. I'm not here to say become the coyote and go after the roadrunner. Like, if you are some kind of dog, some kind of wolf, some kind of animal, and you're in the desert or a forest, and you want to go after some kind of bird, some dodo bird, some roadrunner bird, ostrich, animal thing, then maybe you can try that. If that's who you are, if that's what you want, okay. But how many times are you going to try to get the roadrunner, Mr. Coyote? That's a good question. I'm not really sure how many times. I'm not really sure exactly. But at the same time, sometimes you need to stop, take a break, and ask other people. Like, if you were the coyote and you were going after the roadrunner for like 100 years or more, 100 years in a cartoon, because that's what the coyote is. He's a cartoon on TV. If that's who you are, if I sound like Obama now. If that's who you are, you have to maybe ask other people, hey, what do you think I should do? And sometimes other people will have really, 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 really good ideas. It doesn't mean that they're right all the time, or totally, or whatever. And you still have the freedom to take their advice or not. But you should at least try to get some feedback sometimes. And I think that's a fundamental skill that's missing in life for a lot of people. And even for me sometimes. We get lost doing what we do, trying to do what we do, because we're in the middle of trying to do something. We got a project, we got some kind of work, some kind of, mission, some kind of thing that we want to do, that we started. Maybe you start something, you want to finish it, and then, like, for me, I do that a lot. I want to finish whatever I started, and I got a lot of stuff that I started or am starting that I'm trying to start in life, stuff like, maybe I'm, like stuff that I'm writing, or videos, or maybe other stuff too. And I have like all these ideas that I try to do since I was like a little boy, like 10 years old or 8 years old or whatever, and I get stuck in doing all these things, and I get so distracted because I try so hard to preserve everything I've done and to guarantee my success in the future so that there's no possibility of failure. And it's very good to do those things. Like, a lot of things that I do is good, and I'm not telling myself not to do that or this thing or that thing. I'm not really trying to tell myself that I'm bad or very bad or too bad or whatever. What I'm trying to say to myself is that sometimes something is good, but it's not the best. And a lot of people forget that. They forget. Like you can do a good thing, and that's okay. But is it the best thing? Is that the best thing you can do? Is that the best thing you can do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it the best thing? It could be good, but it might be a little bit too counterproductive. Now, doing something is better than doing nothing at all, obviously. So if you only have like 2 choices in your life at the moment, then something is better than nothing. But if you have a 3rd choice, then you should think about that, I would say, to say the least. Hello, Winden. Hi, teacher. Hello, student. So this is what I say. So this is another live stream that I'm making right now. And I feel that it's very, very interesting. And I'm very, very, very happy about a lot of things in the world. And it's very, 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 like, interesting. Like, so many things are happening in the world. I spend all day listening to the news. Like, it's really interesting, especially like technology. They are merging people with technology, with computers and stuff, and they're putting computers inside people's brains, and people are becoming one with the robots, like you see in the Matrix and in the Terminator and in WALL-E and the Blade Runner. You see all of this. Those are some of the movies that talked about the future. And we are living in the future right now, and it's happening very, very fast. And it's always happening faster and faster. Technology improves faster and faster, and robots are very, very interesting, but there are also androids, and androids are like robots, but they're different because androids are like living people, like living robots, like Data in Star Trek, and some people wonder about that. What are you doing? How are you today? I'm okay. Alright. Mr. Dan Liu. It's time to pop his collar. Time to say his thing, yo. Yo, I got a comment on my Facebook live video from Mr. Dan Lu. I don't really know who Dan Lu is. I always try to figure that out. Man, I was caught in the middle of talking about the end of the world and the future and androids and that thing that Mr. Putin talked about. You know, he's talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and now right in the middle of my jazz, I get a comment from Dan Lu. Mr. Dan Lu. I don't know if he's anybody that I actually know. I don't really know if I ever met this guy. And I probably just know him on Facebook. So Dan Lu commented that I know him on Facebook, or maybe I've seen him on Facebook and only on Facebook, and that's probably true to some extent. I don't really know if I've ever met him or seen him in person. There's a couple different people that come to mind when I think about him. And I wonder what his motive is when I think about this guy. You did not our acquaintance, so you might be in Australia. Maybe you went back to Australia, you might be that guy. But don't really know if you're that guy or not. But you do talk a lot about that. Or you talk like him. You talk a lot like that guy that I saw again walking down the street. And then we're at McDonald's. And then he wanted to take me somewhere or something. I don't know. But then he went back to his school in Australia. And Mr. Dan Lu says that Joey Arnold has a problem with his memory. For example, I forgot my power cord yesterday, and I definitely do have problems with memory. But who doesn't? A lot of people have problems with memory, and that's why we got to write stuff down. That's why we got to talk about what we need to talk about, or whatever we want to talk about, because it's easy to forget about stuff. Don't tell me you don't know who you are either. I'll tell you, I don't really know who I am either. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that's how the cookie crumbles, and that's very, very interesting, I'll say the least. I was trying to do my video this morning with my phone here. This is my phone, and there was no video. I turn on my phone, I go to Facebook, and I get a black screen when I try to go onto Facebook Live from my phone. Could it be a phone problem? I don't know. Could it be a Facebook problem? Maybe a Facebook problem. Could it be Facebook telling me, hey, what are you talking about? Don't say anything bad about our emperor, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. Please don't tell people about his connection to Rothschild and Rockefeller, the CIA and stuff. The purpose behind that. Please don't talk about that, because if you do, we'll just give you a black screen. Maybe that was happening. I don't really know. I can't really say. I'm speculating a little bit, but I did get a black screen for a moment. So then I went onto my laptop, and I was trying to prepare my laptop to do a live screen, a live video, I mean. And I was working on the audio, and I was trying to make sure that my microphone would be better. Is a big problem, because normally there's a lot of problems because there's a lot of noise that goes into the microphone, the built-in microphone on my computer. And then I went back on my phone, and my phone started working again, and the Facebook Live started working, and I was able to see myself. So I pressed record. So now I'm doing Facebook Live again on my phone, my smartphone. Dan Lu writes, we have known each other for a long time. We have known each other since you first came to Vietnam in 2012. I came to Vietnam in 2012. on the 29th of November. It was a Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, actually. 12 o'clock. I flew into the Hanoi airport, which is actually kind of on the edge of Hanoi. And took a taxi to Bắc Ninh. That's where it all started. Went there. I gave the taxi driver $50 or $45. Okay, $45 probably. And he took me like 20 miles or so from Hanoi to Bắc Ninh. And I went into the school, and there were some people that knew me. Knew me from Skype, from the internet, and they were working there, and they introduced me. They were the ones that told me to come, and so I came, and I started there. So I came to Vietnam in 2012, 5 years ago, and I was there in the north of Vietnam. Then, I was there, and I was meeting people, and I was going around, and then I came to Saigon. Early in 2013. Alright, and I've been here. A friend of mine even helped you out when you were in Plight. And I'm in Plight a lot, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you, brother, I'm in Plight a lot. I'll tell you that, I'm in Plight all the time. Always in Plight. Now, what does Plight mean? Plight probably means like trouble, or Plight might mean flight. Maybe not flight. I'm just rhyming. I'm always rhyming. I'm a rapper. I want to be Eminem. No, I don't want to be Eminem. I want to be better than Eminem. I can be better than Eminem. Anybody can be better than Eminem after the last thing he did. I'll tell you that. So, what can I say? Mẹ là bỏ hùng để tao tụ tỏ mình cũng. What does that mean? Something about work? Airplane? Wait, no. Something about good? No, something about America? I'm not sure. I don't know enough Vietnamese to understand that. I could maybe try to translate. You pretend not to know me. I would say that I need a photo. Mr. Dan Lu is writing, you pretend not to know me. I say to him that I don't have a picture of you at the moment. I will go to your Facebook, and I will try to find a photo. Because if I don't have a photo, how am I supposed to know you? And I've been to your Facebook before, and I don't remember seeing any photos of you. I see a lot of pictures of Buddha and other old people, dead people. And I don't see any pictures of you, so it's really hard to know. I probably met you when I first came to Saigon. Okay, I see a picture of you. So you're probably that guy. Wait, hold on, which guy are you? A lot of people I know. There's a lot of people I know in Vietnam, so I'm not exactly sure which one you are. Don't mind at all. When I see you again, we will be just the same as close friends. So, are we really close friends? Hold on. So you must be in Saigon, Mr. Dan Lu. I'm reading a comment in case you're wondering. Anybody watching the video right now? I'm talking to Dan Lu. He is commenting on the live video. I say that because sometimes you don't really know what's happening when you watch the video. Like later on people will watch the video and they will not know Well, now you know. I'm trying to talk to Dan Lu, and he's saying that I know him, and I'm saying maybe yes, maybe no. But I say that I know a lot of people, so it's very difficult to know because I know too many people. And then people get offended a lot of times when I say that I don't remember them. I remember a lot of faces, but I don't connect names with faces a lot. I do sometimes, but it's very, very hard to know who is important and who is not important. And for me, I run into people all the time, and I do it all day. I run through people, and I care about people. I want to remember people, but it's difficult. I'm not a name person. I'm as ordinary as any other Vietnamese, but you are outstanding, so I can recognize you instantaneously. I can recognize you at first glance, automatically, in a heartbeat, with total recall. And a lot of people do. A lot of people can. A lot of people tell me that all the time. People come up to me and they know me. And they know me since I was like a little boy. Like even people like in high school, almost 20 years ago, people would know me. Lots of people knew me. I had high school. I went to a high school with almost 1,000 people, and almost everybody knew me. They knew me because I was popular, or other popular people knew me. Some people liked me. Some people made fun of me. I was kind of funny, kind of goofy, kind of cool. They knew me from basketball, and because I was dancing, or because I was like making some videos during high school. And like at high school too, I brought my camera to school back before there were smartphones with the cameras on the smartphones. So now everybody brings their camera to school now, but I did it before it was popular, before everybody else was doing it. I know what kind of person you are. I know what kind of person you are. You are the king of pop. No, wait, that's Michael Jackson. Oh, really? That's right. So, Mr. Dan Lu, you have any questions? You're the most engaged guy here. You probably talk to me a lot more than anybody else. Maybe not anybody else, but more than a lot of people. I don't know. But you're probably in the top 100 or maybe in the top 10. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. I mean, at the moment, you're probably number 1. Because you keep coming back and you have something to say. I'm not really sure if it's totally appropriate. I'm not really sure. If you offend people more than I do, when you say bad words, where are you right now? I'm at a secret location in Ho Chi Minh City. That's right. It's not very important where I am. What matters is the next step. If you don't know, I'm thinking about everything that I want to do, and I feel like I'm in some kind of transition in my life where I may change my path. I'm at a fork in the road, a big fork. Obviously I'm always at a fork in the road, and everybody's at a fork in the road. Everybody's always like dealing with stuff. Everybody has their own problems. I know that, but sometimes it's important to think about special situations in your life. Wait. What do you know? What do you know about me? What do you know about me? I know you are probably from Burma, probably from Myanmar. Guessing by your name. Okay, Mr. Tin U. Okay. I've been getting a lot of friend requests from people in Burma, Myanmar. No way. And there's a lot of like revolution in Burma. Some people may not like it. I think I like it. I think I like what's happening in Burma. But there are some people that say, well, there's some bad stuff happening in Burma. That there's like a group of people that are getting murdered. Terrible, terrible things. So some people will say, oh my God, they're killing us, but that's not the whole story. Story is very, very old. Like there's history behind what is happening in Burma or Myanmar, Burma, whatever you want to call it. You want to call it Myanmar, or you want to call it Burma. I'm not really sure what I want to call it. I can't remember which one is which. Is Burma the new name or the old name? Is Myanmar the new name? I think Myanmar is the new name. Used to be called Burma. But you are very smart. Thank you, Dan Lu. You are very smart, Joey. Thank you. Thank you, Dan Lu. I don't really know if you mean it or not, or what you mean when you say I'm smart. But regardless of that, I don't really care. I kind of care, but I shouldn't care because there are more important things to focus on. That's right. Don't let too many rabbit trails cast you off balance and everything. What do you think about Burma? I can ask you. I have a lot of people that care, or I might have a lot of people that care about that, or maybe they should care about that. Some of my friends, some of my so-called alleged Facebook friends are from Myanmar, which is a country near India, and it's actually, it's kind of like near Thailand. It's kind of like between India, Thailand, and between like Thailand and like Cambodia, Vietnam. It's kind of in the middle. Dan Lu is a common Vietnamese name. That's right, you got a common name, right? So, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for the great, terrible, fantastic Joey Arnold, original Oatmeal? If you do, let me know, and I'll try to talk about it. I'll try to talk about it because that's what I do. Can you understand me when I mumble? When I'm mumbling, do you understand me when I'm mumbling? But Lu Dan is literally hand grenade. You can be a hand grenade. Yes, so many bad things are happening. People are getting murdered, killing innocent people. Alright, so some people are saying that innocent people are getting killed in Myanmar, in Burma. Now, do you really think that's happening? Now, whatever is happening in Myanmar is happening in other countries too. It's happening in Europe. It's happening in America. It's happening in the Philippines too. It's actually happening a little bit in Australia too. There are so many countries that it's happening in. So, if you know the country Burma, and you know bad stuff's happening in Burma, in Myanmar, you should know the same thing is happening in other countries, in Syria too, in the Middle East, in Africa, in many countries. It's the same thing. Now, some people will say, well, it's not the same thing, but it is. I mean, obviously, the details are different. All right. And whatever is happening there is coming to your country. It's coming and is already here, if you don't already know. It's not the only problem we face as people in the world. It's not the only thing. It's complex. It's simple and complex. It's crazy. It's a long story. A lot of things are happening. But this is one of the biggest things, not the biggest thing, that we have to worry about. Burma is famous for the Buddhist temples. Now, some people don't like the Buddhist people in Burma, in Myanmar. So some people, some of these people, are saying, "Oh my God! Look at the Buddhist people. Look at the Buddha people, the Buddhist people. Look at these people, and look at what they're doing to these people." And you will see that if you haven't. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will. You will. You will know. You will know. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. If you don't know what I'm talking about. And of course, there's like terrorists killing innocent people. But I'm not mad about the innocent Muslim people. They're just innocent. And a lot of people say that. So I understand about that, about the conflict, but that's not the whole story. And a lot of people don't really know about the story, and they don't care about the story, and they just want to talk about what they see in the moment. They're like, oh, I see this and this, like these people and these people and these people are boom, 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 boom to these people. But that's not the whole story. That's not the whole story. And I'm really, really like passionate about this because it's like, it drives me crazy. It's been nice listening to you. You're babbling. I'm off now. I don't want to hear about Burma until it comes to Vietnam. Whatever's happening there, it came to the Philippines. It came to the EU, and before that, it actually came to the Roman Empire a long time ago. It went to the Roman Empire, and in some ways, it went to some of the other empires too, like Persia, and Assyria, and the Ottoman Empire, and the British Empire, the Greece Empire with the Greek gods. Not really Greek gods. I'm not saying that they're real, or are they real? But that's another discussion for another day. But I'll tell you this. Okay. What do you think about the Muslim people? What do you think about? And you have these people and you have these people. Who's right and who's wrong? Well, I'll tell you. If you don't know. These people have done it before. They did it before. They come into a place and they overpopulate it. They overpopulate a place, and then they cry. They play the victim, and they say things like, "Oh my God, I'm a refugee. Oh my God, everybody's trying to kill me. Oh my God, and stuff like that." I'm serious. If you don't know, you will know. And Facebook will probably disable my account someday, like they did before. Deactivate my profile, my account, my pages, my groups, like they had before. And some of my groups are gone. Most of them are. Because that's what Facebook does. I mean, they do it because you know why they do it. If you don't know, you will know. If you don't already know. But if you cannot find me in the future, someday, if you're listening, if you cannot find me on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, you can go to the other websites and look for me. Type in my name, Joey Arnold, original Oatmeal. Any of those keywords, like type in Joey Oatmeal, type in my username, Joey Arnold VN, and you'll find me. Because someday, I will probably be gone because whenever you talk about the truth, the big people get you, and so that's a difficult thing. That's because they're trying to bully us. They're trying to bully us. They've been trying to bully us for a long time. They're trying to get us to not talk about the world, about the truth, about stuff. And when you see the truth, the truth will set you free. And when you see the light, you'll never go back to the darkness. Light overcomes the darkness. But you can learn a lot from history. There's a lot of repetition in history. You can see a lot of patterns, and there's a lot of good cycles and bad cycles. You wanna be in a good cycle, get out of the bad cycle. And when you study history, you can see where you are in the overall scheme of things, and then you get the opportunity to decide what side of history you want to be on. As soon as you see the bigger picture and see the perspective of what is happening in the course of everything, then you understand who you are, where you came from. Like, it's very, very interesting. Can I ask you something? Yes, you can. Ask me a question. And we are truly blessed with so many opportunities, especially now with the internet. We have the ability to know things that we might never ever know any other way. And that is incredible. That is great. Like, information sets us free like nothing else. And that is incredible. And technology is advancing so fast, so quickly, just even like in the next few years. But a lot of money systems are dying now, again, like before. And the dollar is going down. A lot of different currencies are going down, but cryptocurrencies are rising. And they're part of the future. And you have the opportunity to be a part of a lot of incredible things. Or you can just stay home. You can stay home in your head, inside your head, and stay dead and red as you are fed from the big banks and drug companies and the plutocracy people, the terrible effing blue people, the blue state people, the plutocracy people, the monopolism, plutocracy, the corporatism, the technocracy, all these terrible things. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you care about, yourself, and if you care about your family, that's good. It's not a bad thing. But then the question will be, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? That's a good question. If you have any more questions, ask me now. Ask me now. Because I may stop. I'm going to stop soon. I'm going to stop this video soon. But for the moment, I'm still here for a moment. For a few more minutes. I'm still here. Making a live video on Facebook, and then I'm probably going to copy this, put it on YouTube, and maybe put it on other websites too. Like Periscope and VidMe and Fuely is another website. A lot of good websites, a lot of new websites rising from the ashes, rising from the pits of hell, from these other places, and that's really interesting. Hello, Unemployed. Hello, everybody. So you have any questions? Ask me. And I think it's really interesting, and I think it's very exciting. So you say add me. Why do you say something else? I tell everybody to add me because I want to be friends with everybody. I just want to be friends with everybody. I want to talk to everybody. So I go on the internet. I go on Facebook. I go on YouTube. I go on minds.com. I go to steemit.com. I go to medium.com. I go to twitter.com. I go to youtube.com. I go to facebook.com. I go onto different social networks as a crazy maniac or not a crazy maniac, whatever I am or not. Regardless of that, I'm Joey Arnold, original Oatmeal. I do what I do, and I do what I can. And I go where the people are, and a lot of people are here, and I go around and I run around and I say, I'm an English teacher, add me. And I do that a lot, and I've been doing that for years and years. And especially after coming to Vietnam, I've been doing it even more. I don't really know what I did before Vietnam. I mean, I was adding people, but I wasn't telling people to add me. I would just send them a request, but then I got punished. I was put into Facebook jail a lot before, and then I decided to modify my behavior, even though Facebook is a criminal for doing those things. But that's another story for another day or another year. But I do what I do because I strongly believe in what I do. It's not by accident, it's by design. There's a lot of design in what I do, what I try to do, and I try to focus on that. So, again, for the record, it's 2017, October 26th, Thursday morning. It's 10:50 a.m. my time. It's Indo-China time. It's the Saigon time, the Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam time. We're in that time zone. I've been in that time zone for almost 5 years. I've been in Vietnam for basically 5 years, or almost 5 years now, and that's my life. For the moment, in the future, anything can happen. Maybe I go somewhere else, and I say this a lot, but this is a thing that I feel compelled to talk about. I just feel very compelled to talk about how I am, how I feel, and all those things. And people say that I'm being too selfish, and that may be true, but I'm also being human. To be human is to be selfish, and to be selfish is to be human. And being selfish is a good thing and a bad thing. And it's also a good thing. It's not only a bad thing, it's also a good thing. And it's an honest thing to do, and it's a step in the right direction. I got an email this morning from my older sister talking about going on disability, and I said I don't want to do that. I don't want to go on disability, and I don't think that is a good idea for people. Because it's a surrender, and it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. You know, it's not a good idea to do stuff like that, and people should not do that. Life is a journey, and it's a journey that we can enjoy. We shouldn't just be too focused on the mountain that we're trying to climb. We should enjoy our journey up the mountain, and sometimes we go back down into a valley before we go to another mountain in our life. And we can have a lot of fun, and we can learn a lot, and we can go through a lot of hard struggles in our lives, and we can learn a lot from other people from all around the world. Some people are very, very bad. There are some ideas that are not very good, but it's very, very, very good to talk about it, because that helps us determine what is good, what is bad, what is good, and what is better. The ability to debate is what builds the Western civilization for over like 1,000 or 2,000 years. It's been building slowly. What America has, what developed countries have, is something that didn't come out of nowhere. It didn't come out one day because somebody had a lot of money. The success, the development, the technology, the science, all of these different things come from a lot of philosophy. It comes from a lot of good ideas. It comes from a lot of struggle. It comes from a fundamental build, a fundamental climb up a mountain that has slowly rose over time, but it keeps getting better and better, and everything gets better and better, and things improve faster and faster and faster, because that's just how it works. I mean, it's you know that it works like that. I don't have to tell you that the bigger you are, the faster you go. The smarter you are, the smarter you become. It's just the law of the universe. It's the law of science and gravity and acceleration. Momentum and acceleration. It's something that you see in Western civilization. Is built on Plato and Aristotle and Socrates and all these other people, and a lot of it's built on William Shakespeare. And then you have like other people, people from religions. You have Jesus and Buddha. Should I say Allah? I don't know, but there's a lot of people, or other things too, other people, or other things, a lot of stuff, and it's good to talk about it. It's not scary, it's not crazy, it's not stupid. It's cool, it's interesting, it's fascinating. People can have a good time. You can have a good time. You can have a good time when you talk about history, because that's who we are. It's good, very, very good to know your mommy and daddy, because you are a composite of mommy and daddy. You're half mommy, half daddy, maybe kinda, or a little bit of your uncle or your aunt, your third cousin, your second cousin, your kissing cousin, whatever, all these other people in your family and distant relatives, your ancestors. Like, Like when you go back into your family tree, you see yourself in your father, your mother, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your great-great-grandfather, your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. You are some kind of copy. You're some kind of clone of your great-great-grandpa. Like some kind of reincarnation. You're some kind of echo. You're an echo from Dollhouse. And it's incredible, it's interesting, and it's good to know. It's good to know. It's interesting. It doesn't really matter, maybe, what it means or what it doesn't mean. I don't think. I mean, you can disagree with me, and that's fine, and that's the interesting part of it, is we can talk about it, and we can think about it, and we can continue, and maybe there's a lot of meaning to life. Maybe there's meaning and purpose in life, and I always talk about what I think is the meaning to life, and I say what I think, because I want to, because I feel like I want to, and I'm very, very, very interested and very curious about the meaning of life. You know, that's the question that people ask, and on TV you see that question, and people kind of say, "Oh my God, I don't know the answer." They say, "What's the meaning to life? What is the meaning to life? What does it mean?" And people are like, "Oh my God, I don't know. Oh my God." And then sometimes they kind of say that they don't know, or they make up something stupid like, "Oh, it's 42, it's 49, it's, oh, the 49ers, oh man, they're not standing. Oh my God." It's like, "Oh my Buddha, oh my this, oh my that." I say that it's good to talk about it. I think that it's better if you talk about it. It's good. It's fundamental, and it's exciting, regardless of what the truth might be. The truth is still out there, and it's good to try to go after it. And it's better to go after it regardless of what it means, or what it might mean, or what it may not mean. It doesn't really change the fact that we are who we are, even if we don't know who we are. Like, you can argue about where you think you come from, or where you are, or where you're going. But that doesn't change the fact that you are somewhere. You came from somewhere, and you're going somewhere. Just because you might be wrong about it doesn't mean that it's wrong to try to talk about it. And it doesn't change the fact that a lot of the principles from that is still applicable. A lot of truth, a lot of wisdom, a lot of principles are still very applicable and very, very relevant to our lives. No matter what. Regardless of whether we're real or not, regardless of where we may come from, whether that be some kind of evolution, creation, a hybrid, those things, regardless of how we got here exactly from those things, from our origin story, regardless of where we might be, regardless of where we might go, we're still here. Right now, we're here. And we have the ability to experience and to share life, and that's the meaning to life, is to talk about it, and to exercise the freedom and the ability to love other people, and to love our enemies, and to do to others what we want them to do to ourselves. I mean, it's like, sounds pretty self-explanatory and common sense, of at the same time. But a lot of people have been losing that because a lot of other people have been telling them to lose it. And that's a little bit unfortunate and a little bit too sad. And it's just very, very, very sad. Very sad that we lose our way. But maybe it's your job to help them find their way. If you know people who have lost their way, maybe it's your job to help them get back on the path of being a person. And being a person is all about the society that you live in. And obviously, there's a lot of truth, and there's a lot of fundamental, and there's a lot of, great things, a lot of fundamentals, a lot of great things that make us who we are. And we all want to be a part of that. We all want to be a part of that pie in the sky. And we want to have our cake and eat it at the same time. We want to do this, and we want to do that. But sometimes you feel like you just want to die. Sometimes you feel like you're lonely. Sometimes you feel like you don't know what you're doing. You feel like you don't know who you are, where you come from, where you're going. You don't know if you have any friends, any family, anybody. You don't know, you don't know, you feel like you don't know. Maybe you know, maybe you believe in something, but you feel so lost sometimes, and that's okay. And other people may feel the same. In those moments when you feel lost, all you got to do is look in the sky and smile. All you got to do is go outside and go into the forest. Look at a dog, look at a cat, look at an animal, find other people and tell them how you feel. Take a break. Sometimes when you are working and you feel lonely and you feel terrible, you got to stop. You got to get out and you got to go somewhere. You got to get out of where you are when you're feeling like that. And it's very simple. But if you feel like other people are dead inside, you can come to them and you can say, "Hey, how are you doing? Do you need to go? Do you need to go out here? Do you need to go outside? Do you need to maybe go out of the city, out of the country, out of your house, your work, your school, or whatever that it is?" And maybe they do. They probably do. They probably don't even know it. A lot of times we don't even know it, and it takes you to take the time to hold other people's hands, and maybe that's the meaning to life for you. Maybe that's what you're here for. Maybe that's why you're here, is to take the time to go to the other person, whether that be yourself or somebody else, maybe in your family, maybe somebody at work or school or something else. But maybe that's what you need to do, and that's all right. That's great. That's good. And I encourage you to do that because want to, maybe, or maybe you should do that because it's better. It's better that way. It's better that way. You know what I'm saying? It's better that way. It's better that way. It's better. Maybe it's a little bit better, or maybe it's not. I don't know. You tell me. But a lot of times, the better thing to do is on your heart. Because it comes there. You can know that. You can know that. It's very simple to know, right? So that's what I want you to know. So Interesting. Alright, what an interesting day. I still have super hearing. And I still get a cold again, like I always do in the springtime, which is like all the time. It's like kind of confuses my allergies. I probably do have a lot of allergies. All right. So, what do you do in life? What do you like to do? That's a good question. What do you really enjoy doing? I really like to talk to people. I like to ask people, hey, what do you want to do in your life? What kind of person do you want to be? I used to ask people that a lot in school, in college, at camps. And I think it's very, very, very interesting, very, very fundamental to think about that and to prepare for that, make preparations for that. I think it's very exciting. Very exciting. Yeah, that's right. Very interesting. I've said that. That's right. That's right. Are you sure that's right? I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good idea. I might have to say that. That's wrong. My mouth is so big. Sometimes I just want to talk like this. But then I watch my video. And I see myself going, and I see my mouth. I look at my mouth, and I'm like, oh my god, the teeth and the lips and the tongue, and the hair and the skin and the bones and oh my god, I'm like, oh, I look at myself and I'm like, oh my god, Joey Arnold's the monster. And I'm like, oh, wow, what's going on? So then I go back to my dark place, my dark passion here, and I go down into the deep valleys of my life when I become a little bit too analytical about my life. A little bit too analytical. Maybe not too analytical. I don't know if it's too analytical, but maybe for the moment it might be. Then I gotta remind myself, hey, what you doing? Hey, Arnold. Hey, football head. What are you doing? And I look at myself and I'm like, oh no. Hey, you're Joey Arnold. What? Are you sure? Yeah, you're Joey Arnold. You know what I'm saying? You're Joey Arnold. What? Are you sure? Yeah, you're Joey Arnold. Look at you. You're Joey Arnold. Oh, who am I? You're Joey Arnold. I don't know. You know. Don't say you don't know. You know who you are. You are fill in the blank, whatever your name is. And talk to yourself. It's okay to talk to yourself. It's okay to sing. It's okay. Maybe it's not okay if you're like doing a lot of karaoke and got noisy neighbors, or if you're noisy yourself, that might not be a good idea. Probably not. I mean, let me take my words back, because sometimes I feel like maybe I don't really mean what I say. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I gotta be a lawyer. I gotta lawyer up. I gotta lawyer up myself a little bit more sometimes. Maybe not. Maybe it's too late. I let the cat out of the bag a little bit too much, a little bit too often. Alright, so if anybody's asking about me, tell them you don't know me. Or tell them I'm a mad scientist if you want. That's what I say. That's what I want to say. I want to say like, I don't know what to say. Exactly. I know kind of what I want to say and stuff, but I feel a little bit blindsided by a lot of things. A lot of things. A lot of great things are happening in the world. A lot of interesting things are happening. A lot of cool, exciting things are happening. Great, cool things. There's a lot of things you can do if you're not already doing them. You can always do more, and you can always have a happier life than you may know. There's a lot of things you don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know. There's a lot of things you don't know. And when you know it, then you're given the opportunity to do something about it or not. That's okay. Maybe it's not okay. Maybe it's not okay, but very, very interesting. Again, I'm here, and a lot of things is happening in the world, and even just in my life, a lot of really, really interesting things that happen. And the world we live in is so amazing. Like, it's so amazing. But we forget that. We forget. That's what Rah-Rah-Roo always said. Rah-Rah-Roo, Hercules Roberto, my guinea pig. Oh man, Rah-Rah-Roo. Hey, little boy, what's going on? Well, I tell you, you know what's going on? I tell you. You know what's happening. Oh man, I tell you, you know what's going on. You know what's happening. A lot of things are happening. But we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it enough. We don't really talk about the little small moments in our lives and in the lives of other people around us, and we forget. We lose it, and it gets lost in the ocean, in the sea, in the water, and goes down to the bottom. And we lose it, and these are like jewels, like diamonds, like a necklace dropped into the ocean from the Titanic, and we lose them. We lose the buried treasure, and we gotta go back, and we gotta go find it. We gotta go back to the Arnold attic, and we gotta get it back. Gotta get it back. We gotta get it back. We gotta get it back. You gotta get it. You gotta get it back. Gotta get it back. Gotta get it back because it's better that way. You know it's better that way. You know it's better that way. Like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Can you imagine what life would be like if something was different? You probably can't. It's very interesting. I'll tell you that. It's very, very, very interesting. Life is very, very interesting. Life's full of a lot of surprises and a lot of twists and turns, and everything is there to give us so much. Everything is so interesting. Everything is so exciting. Everything is so fundamental to development. A lot of development is happening. A lot of interesting things are happening. A lot of crazy, great, cool things are happening. And very, very interesting. Very interesting. Very fundamental. And I say that life is full of surprises, and that's good. And it's better that way. You don't want life to be without surprises. I know you don't really like surprises when something hits you in the face and you're like, what's this? This is a total disgrace, and it's totally hitting me in the head, and it makes me feel like I'm dead and red and dead all over. And you're like, well, this is totally uncalled for. This is totally counterproductive. This is totally gonna destroy me. But you really gotta get up and you gotta get back going, because you gotta get back up and get going again, because yeah, you want to, man. You want to get up. You want to do that. You want to be a part of this. And a lot of people are part of these revolutions, and that's what I try to talk about. I just want to talk about that. And sometimes we live in a forest. Sometimes it's like we live in a forest, and it's like, oh man, I'm in a forest. Alright, it's like you are some kind of animal in the forest, and you know that the world is not everything you thought it was, and it's not everything that you think it would be, or what you want it to be, or what other people say it is. Sometimes the world is like a forest, like a jungle, and sometimes you don't exactly know who is who, and you live in this jungle of a world full of surprises and other animals. The other animal are just like different kinds of people in this parable, in this illustration that I'm making on the spot. And I say, hey, wow, this is really interesting, and this is really interesting, because it's like, you think maybe you know who the king of the jungle is. Maybe it's a lion, a tiger, and a bear. Maybe just a lion. Maybe just a big cat, a big cat, a feline cat, meow, 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 meow. And you're like, oh man, wow, and you feel like you're just some kind of small animal. Maybe you're some kind of squirrel. But it's like sometimes you feel like you're alone, but then, you know, you have a tree, and you go inside a tree because you're a squirrel, and you have your walnut nuts, you have all your nuts, you're going nuts with your nuts, and you're like, oh man, I got these nuts, and I'm going nuts with my nuts because I'm a squirrel, and this is what a squirrel can do. And sometimes I hang out with the monkeys with their bananas, and I want a banana, and all I want is a banana, and I love bananas, and because I'm a monkey, and I'm going bonkers for more bananas. But maybe you're just a squirrel. Are you a squirrel girl? Are you a girl of a squirrel, or a squirrel of a girl? Or a girl of a squirrel, or a squirrel of a girl? Or what are you? You know, maybe you're just a squirrel, and that's what you are, and that's very interesting. And you go inside your tree, and you're like, oh man, I'm a squirrel. I'm so alone. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm a squirrel. What am I gonna do? I got all these walnuts. I'm a pack rat, except I'm not a rat. I'm not related to them. I don't like the rats. The rats kind of look like me, but I'm a little bit different because I'm kind of like a bat. A bat is kind of like a mouse, like a rat with wings. And I used to have a lot of them. But hey, man, I'm eating my walnuts, eating my cashews, really good for the brain because of the omegas. But oh man, I feel alone. There's the king of the jungle, the lion, the tigers, and the bears, and the moons, and all these leprechauns, and all these weasels, and wobbles, and wobbles, and Eminem rapping about Trump again. Man, what's he doing? Talking about rumping the trumpet. What's he doing, Eminem? Little white little rapper dude trying to pretend he's a black thug man. And I see all these different things going on down in the hood, you know, in the ghetto neighborhood jungle of a time, of a wombly, Dubai. Wonderful, crazy place. And oh man, I feel so lost. And as a squirrel, you're like, oh man, I don't know what to do. Man, I feel totally lost and abused. I feel totally blue. What do I do? Oh, maybe I should go outside. And as a squirrel, you see other squirrels, and you go inside their house, and you're like, hey, the big king of the jungle is really mean to us. What do we do? How about we work together and we come to the king of the jungle and we tell them what we want. And maybe we can make the world a better place because there are more of us than there are of them. And so then you go to the king of the jungle and you go to the other bigger animals and you say, you know what? We're not working for you anymore. And we don't want you to do what you do because we don't like it and it's not helping us and it's not helping this jungle and it's not a good idea. And we're voting for the other people and we're supporting the other people and we are not gonna support you guys anymore. We're not gonna give you the money anymore. We're not gonna give you all the walnuts and the bananas and our work and devotion to you guys because we are squirrels and we are Sparta. We're Sparta. We're so numerous. We're a cancer or a fire that can never be taken out. And that's what we're going to do because we're squirrels and that's what squirrels are going to do. So that's incredible. Incredible. Be a squirrel. Be a squirrel. Be a squirrel. Be a squirrel. All right. Be a squirrel. All right. Take care, my squirrels.